you feeling stuck, lost, tired, or uninspired? We've all been there, including myself. I'm Coach Des, mindset motivator and lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm here to tell you that the best, unapologetic, and limitless version of yourself is yet to come. The Born Unbreakable podcast is here to inspire just that. With motivating guests from all different walks of life and around the world, their stories will empower you to unlock abundance and your unbreakable spirit. Do you need accountability? Reach out to me for a free consultation of how I can support you in reaching your maximum potential. This episode is brought to you by Sherpa Way Marketing. Are you a business looking to gain greater visibility online through search engine optimized content? Maybe you need effective ad campaigns to kickstart or bolster traffic to your website. Sherpa Way Marketing has seasoned experts that are bilingual in English and Spanish. Let them take the guesswork away and enhance your brand positioning with their comprehensive marketing services. Go to sherpawaymarketing.com. That's SHERPAWAY marketing.com to schedule your free 45-minute consultation today. Welcome to the Born Unbreakable podcast. It's been a little minute. I needed a break. I know there was not a weekend episode, but that's because it's been crazy. So I needed a minute to breathe. I do take one of those little breaks when I can get them. But yeah, it has been hectic heading into June. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already going to be Memorial Day weekend. And then, of course, the summer is upon us. And hopefully you have something fun in store. And travel is getting a little bit easier now. So I definitely am hoping y'all are doing some good stuff out there. But besides that, speaking of upcoming summer, it feels like it's summer already in Las Vegas. It is aggressive here. Today is not so terrible. I think it's in the high 70s, but we've had some serious 100-degree weather days, and the summer just has so much more of that in store. We're talking like 115, that kind of stuff. That is life in the desert. That is life in the desert. Other things that are going on in Coach Dez's life besides coaching, which is what I do on a regular basis, is working out. So here's the thing. Since moving here to Las Vegas, I had to figure out some kind of routine. And to be quite frank, I hadn't really gotten it down. I'm getting there. I would say I'm still getting there. And so part of getting there has been a personal trainer, of which I had a session this weekend. And that was a couple days ago, and my legs are still sore. So that lets you know what kind of a regimen I am in need to get back in a routine of. But I am appreciative of it. I like discomfort. I think it's a sign of growth. I think we need that. When you get complacent, that is when things are just not feeling like there's momentum when there needs to be. So I'm appreciative of my trainer and the diversification that I've been trying to do here. All right. So I have gotten back to Zumba. I'm trying to mix it up, throw in some body pump, going to try to throw in some yoga, some hula dancing, some weightlifting, some swimming, some different things. So your girl's got to get back on point. That's what's really going on out here. But I'm on track. I am in my mastermind, have some amazing people like Erica. Shout out to Erica, who is a fabulous health coach that is teaching me more about keto and the nutritional side of things. So yeah, just trying to get it together. But what are we here to do today? We're here with a special episode. As you can see, there is not a guest to interview. And that is a rarity for me to do these solo episodes. As you know, I could count on one hand the number that I've done in this podcast. But today is special because I'm introducing a program. I have not done that yet on this show. So that's exciting. That is an exciting first for the Born Unbreakable podcast. And it's called Born a Boss Babe. 90-day transformational program. I'm going to break it down for you today. What's all included, give you a little appetizer so you can figure out who should be coming to the meal, who needs to be eating up this meal so they can get the most out of it to transform their life, change their life, and make this year and next year and the future just stellar, because that is my goal. That is what we're here to do. So what is the Born a Boss Babe 90-day transformational program all about? Who's it for? Here we go. It is for ladies, all the ladies in the house. Okay, I'm not going to rap. I just felt like I needed to do that to catch your attention. Are you listening? Okay. Ladies who are in the age range of 18 to 24. 18 to 24. Those formidable adult years where you are embarking on a beautiful chapter of your life, whether that is college, vocational school, maybe it's one of those, what do they call those years? I was going to say leap year. No, it's not a leap year. It's those hiatus years. What do you call that? Like a little sabbatical after you graduate type of things. There's a actual formal name for that, and I'm not getting that right. But 18 to 24, the program starts in August. It goes through October, 90 days, so that's 3 months. We're going to be meeting twice a month, 75-minute sessions with a little bit of pre and post work. So I would say on the whole, as far as time commitment, it is roughly around 4 hours or so a month. So 12 hours total. And I know there are those extra credit people out there. I was one of those when I was that age. Okay, let's be honest. I'm still one of those people today. So if you throw in some extra hours, it could be like 15 or so, okay, for the extra credit people. It is meant to be succinct because I recognize how busy you are. There could be work, a job, a part-time job, multiple part-time jobs, maybe even a full-time job on top of going to school. So I fully recognize all of those things, and that is the reason why I'm making the time be very intentional. We're going to work through that to make sure everybody in the intimate group is able to meet, ideally 100% of the time, because you only get out what you put in. Okay. I am very fortunate from the connections and the vast network that I've made to be able to include guest speakers as we go through each of these sessions. So there will be 6, like I said, 2 per month. What will we be talking about? So the breakdown of topics at a high level, besides introducing each other to expand your fabulous network, which is something that I am very adamant about growing, is your network, because your network is your net worth. Let's keep it real. Keep it real. Those of you who have been around these rodeos a couple times know this. If you are a little bit later in life, 30s, 40s, 50s, you can attest to this, right? Give me a hallelujah and amen, all of that. All right. So we're going to be covering things such as, not necessarily limited to, because I'm open to these young women and their ideas, but the as of the moment, what I've constructed is content related to relationships, your network, finances, mental health and well-being, goal setting, continuous learning, reflection, Okay, these are important things that we have to get our heads around, not only in our solitude, which I think is extremely important, is knowing who you are, what you believe in, where your head at, where your head is with each of these things, but to do this in community. I can't stress enough the purpose of a program like this is to build community because it goes such a long way. When I think about all of the biggest milestones and biggest learnings that I've had throughout my life, so much of the blessings have come from being in community. Whether that was my time in college, my time at the Telios Leadership Institute when I was getting my coaching credential a couple years ago, the mastermind that I'm currently in. It's important to create communities in different ways. I have the cultural community. I grew up dancing hula and Tahitian, for those of you who didn't know that little fun fact about me. But to this day, even though I started dancing when I was 9 years old, more formally, and I did it even when I left my halau, my group, when I, left the Bay Area and I went to San Diego to go to college. I still found another community there of other hula dancers, of people from Hawaii, so that I can carry on that aspect that I was looking for of my culture and the things that I cared about in that realm of my life. So there's different communities that we make. Sometimes they're around faith, sometimes they're around culture, sometimes they're around academics. There's a lot of different communities, and this is just one that I intend to grow to be another one for these ladies that are going to join this program. So that's kind of the skinny, that's the rundown. I don't want to give away all of the things except for some of the dynamics of it. We'll besides the community, besides the speakers that I'll bring in periodically to touch on these topics, who are experts in these topics in different ways, is this notion of reflection, because part of our learning, adult learning, is application, thinking about how we apply the things that we learn to our everyday life to make it a reality, because habits are formed when you do things every day on a regular basis. And statistics show that it's not just 21 days, it's actually more than double that. It's 66 days to really form a habit. And so part of the logic behind this 90-day program is also being able to apply some of the new ways that we're thinking in our everyday lives, and reflect on what we're learning, how we're feeling, how we're growing. Women, we know we're emotional creatures. We need to discuss our feelings and, be able to absorb that, which is just an important part of who we are, and how we grow. So, why? What is the point of all of this? Why would I come up with this program for this specific group? Well, oftentimes, the things that we teach are the things that we need to continue learning. And my personal journey has led me to have some passion behind this, because I wish that when I was at that age, between 18 and 24, that I could have had some of these resources, all of these resources at my fingertips. And I always think, what would life have been like if I did? So I'll kind of tell you a little bit of my story so you can understand a little bit more where I'm coming from. And then we'll wrap it up and put a bow on it with a call to action, because that's what this show is all about, is action. So let's go back. 18-year-old Des. Whoa. Whoa. I tried out for a pop band. All right, we won't even get into that story. You can ask me about that at another time. I will talk to you about that on a one-on-one basis. But yeah, at one point, I was considering many options, okay? I was considering many options, and then decided that college was something that I should actually pursue. But when I was 18, I graduated from high school. academically, scholastically, I did pretty decent. I was pretty ambitious as a tot and through my adolescent years and everything. So that's a that's a positive. I would say that that was something that I was pretty proud of. I enjoyed school. I was definitely an academic. That attitude carried forward in my college years. So ambition and drive were things that were instilled in me. I feel very grateful for that from my father. My father was an immigrant from the Philippines. He came to this country as a teenager himself and joined the U.S. military and made it his mission to learn and be an active citizen. And by the time he had me, uh, he really did want me to have more of that traditional American dream, which meant going to school and doing well and getting a good job. I don't think that is something foreign. I do think that many people listening can relate to their parents wanting something similar for them. Go to school, learn, get a good job, make decent money, be a good contributor in society. So all of that was good and well. But there were some habits that I formed that weren't necessarily the greatest things at that time. While I was an overachiever, I often overworked, did not have my mental wellness on point. The exercise part, maybe, but as far as balance and all of that, like meditation was foreign to me. I did not get into that until later in my life, probably not even until I was in my 30s, honestly. So that I wasn't privy to those things. I wasn't privy to that. As a result of my overwork, my relationships suffered severely. I was married at 22 to my high school sweetheart, who I met when I was 15, and divorced by 25. And there's a whole lot of reasons that led to the end of our relationship, but this is about accountability, so I'm going to talk about my part in it, and a lot of that had to do with my own choices, of which I neglected, the relationship because I was focused on work and that wasn't healthy. I didn't have a balance and the right mindset for how to look at, my intimate relationship. And I also was working through other relationships at that time. I was still finding my stride in the healthiest version of a relationship with my mom, and I continued to do that, through my 30s. I lost my father though when I was 9, and so that was difficult for me. I had to find other father figures like my brother-in-law, like uncles or cousins. So that whole relational aspect of my life of men is something that I've continuously had to work through, and just passions. Like I mentioned, I started dancing when I was young. I had to figure out how to carry that through, but you know because I went through divorce so young, I had to find so many aspects of myself in my 20s. And if I had learned earlier some of these other components that I just mentioned as parts of the program, like mental health and well being and goal setting further out than just those college years, and really examining and working on incrementally finances and my social network to have even more of an expansive group of people that I could go to for different reasons. There would just be so much fruit, so much value in that. And what's been amazing about this process since I've been talking about doing something like this for a little while. For those of you that are close to me and know this about me, um, I have wanted to do this. And in this process, I started to recently just connect with women. And so I've been taking notes here. I'm not going to give away all of the juicy things that I've learned, but I'll just tell you a little bit about my process. I've been reaching out to friends who have daughters that are in this age range of 18 to 24 to get their feedback. And what I've been asking these wonderful women in my life that I've met and at different points of my life is what would you want your daughter to continue learning at this time? What are the things that are important to you for her to learn? And also, when you think back to that time of your life, what is it that you wish you knew that would have made you more resilient, more expansive, more intentional, um, more harmonious, and all of those wonderful things. I have been getting some amazing feedback. I have literally just called people out of the blue, just, hey, how you doing? I'm putting this program together. I'd love your feedback. So I've had everything from text messages to voice text back and forth to phone conversations, um, emails. I mean, it's tremendous how many women have thoughts and input, how passionate they are to influence this generation that is so vital in our society. These are the leaders right now. I won't even say future leaders. They are leaders this very, very minute. What I'm hoping that this program does is continue to accelerate and expand their ability to even be more thoughtful, more self-aware leaders in this world, because we need that. We need that now more than ever. The ability to be confident, to be bold, to be innovative, creative is so incredibly important. Uh, the world is changing quickly around us, economically, socially, technologically. By the moment, there are just new apps coming out all over the place, and it's changing the way that we engage with each other, that we connect with each other, and we've got to keep up. Doesn't matter what age you are, you have to keep up with where we're headed if you want to be an active and really meaningful contributor to our society. And I just think, technically, uh, research and studies show that you're not an adult until you're 24, because of all of the maturing that needs to occur for you to really be that. Although, when you're 18, you're called an adult because by law there's different things that you can do. You can go out and be on your own. You can make your own decisions. And so that is the reason why I think it's so important to have this formidable time be touched by the influence of people who can offer wonderful, insightful, impactful wisdom. And the most important part, as I always say, is the action. So that's a little bit of the backstory, is being able to create something that I wish I had, that I can now pay forward. It's taken me years, of uh, getting some tread here on the tires. Um, I've been in consulting for 17 years. I've been formally coaching over a decade, about a dozen years or so in a formal capacity, and it has been a tremendous grounds for continuous learning. And I just know that I am a forever student, and I hope that I can invite these women to be forever students with me. Um, I'm just a few steps ahead of where they are today. And there are others who are a few steps ahead of me that I continue learning from. So it's all this circle of learning that all of us are doing. Really, truly, that's all life really is putting ourselves in a vulnerable enough position where we are open to receive, because it is in that mindset that we grow the most. And what I've found personally is at this stage and at this age of my life, I find more joy and more fun and more fulfillment when I'm in service and when I'm giving. It's it's where I am, and it's where I find that boost of energy is when I'm in that space of giving and paying it forward. And so that leads me to my call to action. This is a concise episode, guys and gals, which is this: if you are a candidate, somebody who thinks that you're ready for this, you are someone who wants to take action, who's intentional about what you want your life to look like. You are someone who is a goal setter, who's ambitious, who's driven, who takes initiative, who wakes up in the morning and says, I have accountability, I have ownership, I'm in the driver's seat. I paint the canvas of what I want my life to look like, and I want to be this person that makes a difference in the world every single day and grow every single day. I want you to contact me. And if you know somebody who's a candidate that fits that criteria, that is ready to be the boss babe that they're meant to be in this world, I want you to contact me. Des@bornunbreakable.com. It's that simple. Reach out to me, send me an email. It could be a one-liner, and then we could turn that one-liner into a phone call. I am all about making those meaningful connections and having over the phone or over Zoom, face-to-face, virtually phone calls, because that's the jam today. That's what we do, because that is how we have those really deep, meaningful, next level conversations. So let's turn that email or text message into a phone call, into one of those meaningful conversations, so I can get you into the program. This means so much to me to be able to actually launch this year. I am ecstatic about it. I can't say enough about it. I'm trying to withhold information so you can have something to look forward to, or else we'd be here for another hour, talking about all the nitty gritty. But that is for the program. Those are for the peeps that are going to be getting in. So that is my call to action and my short episode for today. We're back to the regularly scheduled program this weekend with some amazing content and guests and all of the good stuff that you always expect when you join me on the Born Unbreakable podcast. So today was a little bit of a PSA. So please do reach out to me and do remember, as I always say, that you're your only limit. So take action. And this is the specific action that I'd like you to take is to contact me if this is for you. Shoot me some references if this is something for somebody that you know. Let's change some lives and let's do it together. Let's do it in community. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't hit that subscribe or that follow button, please do that. That is how you get notified of new episodes of the show. Share this, especially with someone who you think could benefit from joining this program. And hey, leave a rating and review if you haven't done that yet. It's really easy. It takes only about 60 seconds. Just go over, especially Apple Podcast listeners in particular. It helps people find the show, and it means a lot to me. So take those 60 seconds to do that. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.